So it's time now for some business. Emmanuel Abaji has joined me in studio. I'm laughing because he's telling me a lot about
interesting
money.
Developments.
And the world of
interesting developments. The Bank of Ghana is growing with activities.
Bank of Ghana.
Of course.
So Dr. Wampa?
Dr. Wampa has taken an early bow prior to his official term.
I'm just thinking about
departure.
it, and just had about 4 months to go.
Yes, I mean, Dr. Wampa, has been one of the Bank of Ghana governors who has come under serious criticism.
Come under a lot of fire, I know.
From various quarters.
I know,
actually.
I know that.
The fact that inflation has been going up for a long time, interest rates, and so industry is complaining. And the fact that even the IMF bailout.
Over the past few months, he's done relatively well. Well, I mean, not him alone.
Well, relatively, if you say relatively.
Exactly. Over the past few months, I think for the past 4 or 5 months or so, yes, the city has been a bit stable.
Stable, and we've seen marginal increase in
very marginal
inflation.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But for me, I think one of the highlights has to do with the new directives they brought in some time ago about you not being able to withdraw,
transact with foreign currency. Exactly.
You not being able to withdraw more than a particular amount. Yes. And so I think that was one thing that made him very unpopular.
Yes, that really made him unpopular in the face of industry players and also bank experts. That's not too good.
But the point is, if you're due for retirement in 4 months, why take early retirement now?
And the excuse, I find it to be too flimsy when he tells the president that he's buying out so that it will enable his successor time to adjust. Of course, if you are buying out eventually, we know that definitely will give the person who comes after you time.
Anyway, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Give us the details.
So in business, first deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana is Millicent Nah, and he is likely to take over as acting boss of the central bank until a substantive governor is appointed by the president. It follows the decision by Governor Dr. Henry Kofi Wampa to take an early retirement effective April 1. This is ahead of the governor's end of term, which falls on August 5. The Business Desk report assesses the highs and lows of Dr. Wampa.
Joy Business is learning that a new governor of the Bank of Ghana could be appointed very soon. The mantle is expected to fall on Millicent Nah, the first deputy governor. He is expected to act until a new central bank boss is appointed. Dr. Wampa took over as governor of the Bank of Ghana from April 2013, after acting for almost a year following the appointment of Kwesi Amissah-Arthur, then governor, as vice president to President Mahama. During his tenure, Dr. Wampa is said to have struggled to maintain inflation at an appreciable level and also had challenges stabilizing the Ghana cedi. He is, however, credited with some reforms at the central bank over the past years.
That was a Business Desk report. So what do players in the banking industry make of Dr. Wampa's early retirement? Nana Utue Champong is a banking consultant.
It comes with a mixed feeling in that we knew that he was going to take his accumulated leave in June and retire by August. Coming so early, it might put some of the systems out of place, but then there are equally capable people to take over. And in spite of what the government says that it's an independent body, the appointment of a governor is a political issue, and therefore the government of the day will decide who to appoint in his place, whether one will be done before the elections or after the election is in the bottom of the ruling government.
Who surprised by his action?
Well, surprised that, as I said, we knew that he was going to go in June and take a terminal leave to leave by end of his term in August. Coming 3 months earlier is what is surprising. Why he couldn't wait till June and he's going end of March. Other than that, he served his term, 2 terms, and he's contributed his quota to the development of the nation, whichever way he's seen. It's sad that he's living on such a sour note when the president, as the commander-in-chief, more or less lost confidence in him and was questioning his judgment about this DKM debacle. It's some of the tangential effects of the job. So he goes with it.
Do you expect any shocks in the market?
No, it's because it's been anticipated. See, the market knew that his term was coming to an end and it was going to go in June. So already it's been factored in. What hasn't been factored in is the 3 months that has come early, and therefore the anticipation will be, how is that vacuum going to be filled? Is it going to move like musical chairs and the first become governor and so on, or are the political heads going to make an appointment immediately to fill that vacuum? So that sort of uncertainty, yes, will dislocate the market a little bit, but I don't expect it to be too much because it's already been anticipated.
All right, so that was Nana Utu Champon, a banking consultant, on Dr. Henry Wamper's exit. Moving on, government is set to recommence its fertilizer subsidy program for farmers this Friday. It has subsidized 180,000 metric tons of granular fertilizer to 120 million Ghana cedis now, but access remains a challenge. According to a Send Ghana report, government failed to meet its fertilizer subsidy targets by 50% in 2015. Deputy General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, Edward Karawe, says the only hope government has instituted measures to address the distribution challenges to farmers this year.
Started early. It is my prayer that they are also taking into account the hindrances that militate against the distribution of the fertilizer. So those ones will also be eliminated so that the fertilizer will get to the farmers at the right time. And then they've also ensured that the distribution outlets, the bottlenecks that are associated with them have been addressed so that farmers can easily have access to the fertilizer instead of walking for many kilometers to go to the distribution centers for the fertilizers. And then they get there and then the agent is not there, and then they go back with empty hands. I believe they've addressed all those issues.
Government has indicated plans to use an electronic platform to manage the subsidy programs as part of efforts to improve efficiency and transparency. Meanwhile, the growth of Ghana's vegetable sector would be hampered in the coming years if current limitations in meeting international standards are not urgently addressed. That is a warning from Ghana Veg, the Netherlands-based organization whose goal is to improve and sustain vegetable productivity. It is therefore urging government to address the problem as soon as possible. More from Ghana Veg's 2016 business opportunities in this report.
The report said Ghana continues to struggle with rejections of vegetables by the EU due to the presence of organisms which are deemed harmful. This has led to a high number of seizures. The country is currently at the top of the European Commission's alert list of developing countries with poor interception records. In September last year, the EU placed an export ban on some vegetables from Ghana. Ghana Veg says the country needs to act promptly with serious and well-organized measures to be able to regain access to the European market. It noted that farms producing for export markets have been forced to put their products on the local market at lower prices and are even moving away from producing export crops as the demand for these are limited locally. Ghana Veg warns if the ban continues, exporters may lose their market share and affect future development of Ghana's vegetable sector. It urged government to focus more on meeting the recommendations made by the EU's Food and Veterinary Office. The current suspension is provisionally due to last until the 31st of December this year, but can be reviewed in light of new developments.
And that's it for business. Join us again at midday for more news updates. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji Riafi.